Legend of Total War here, and today we're doing another Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires campaign review, this time covering the Sisters of Twilight. So they start off their campaign at the Witchwood, over in Nagaroth, and they're pitted up against the Drakla Coven Dark Elves. You also start off with the Oak of Ages. Every Wood Elf faction that you choose to start your campaign off, with the exception of Dryka, will start off with the Oak of Ages. So this is a very easy faction to fight on the battlefield. Really, any faction in the early stage of the game is easy for the Sisters of Twilight because they are essentially the strongest level 1 character in the game. And what I mean by that is that at level 1, this character is essentially a 2-woman Doomstack because it is a flying monster, so anything that is not a missile unit or a flying unit can't hit it right from turn 1. It is a long-range missile unit that has an incredible amount of damage potential. So even if you do have a missile unit trying to shoot at them, they are most likely going to be outshot by the Sisters of Twilight. They pretty much have the longest range of any flying missile unit, and there's not that many of them in the game anyway. And they are decent in melee. Those are really good melee stats for a level 1 character. And on top of that, they can regenerate once they hit their once they've taken enough damage. So that's without any further assistance. So that's without any equipment or any skills points. So as this character gets leveled up, you can make them incredibly powerful very quickly. In addition to that, you've also got access to sort of boosted up Hawk Riders when playing as the Heralds of Ariel, where these Hawk Riders have the Volley of Kurnos, which is a very powerful ability. Sort of that's like the go-to unit when playing as the Sisters of Twilight, and they're very easy to access because you can get access to them on turn 2 by building the Sacred Ground of Anathrema. So a lot of powerful mechanics, just talking about just the core basics there. Then you've also got the Forge of Death, which is like their unique sort of DLC Lord faction ability. So talking about the Forge of Death, the way this works is that for every turn you can fight a battle with the Sisters of Twilight, you'll gain a Death's Favor, or up to a second Death Favor if you've got Challenge to Death over here, which gives you a 33% chance to earn an additional Death's Favor after battles. So either 1 or 2, right? So if you fight multiple battles in a given turn, you'll still only get the 1 or 2 favor. But anyway, you spend the favor on making items and then upgrading these items. So, talking about the Dragon Pendant first, you spend 1 Death Favor to create it, and then it's just a green item, and then 2 to upgrade to level 2, 3 to upgrade to level 3, and 2 to temporarily forge it into a purple item, giving it sort of a hypercharge, which is very useful once you've already got essentially all the equipment that you need. So there's 4 different sets of items there, and you don't have to attach these to the Sisters of Twilight. They can be attached to any character whatsoever. And the great thing about playing as Warhammer 3 is that items can be instantly re-equipped. So you can have, for example, the Dreaming Cloak on multiple characters in multiple locations, as long as it's during your turn, by just switching the item wherever it's needed. And then on top of that, you've got these temporary bonuses here that you can order for a very cheap price of just 1 favor. That'll last for 5 turns, so giving you some faction-wide bonuses. So this mechanic here is quite powerful, but you always have to make sure that the Sisters of Twilight are fighting battles. If they are sitting around doing nothing, you're not going to be getting Death's Favor. Your other armies will not be able to accumulate Death's Favor. Only the Sisters of Twilight will. So sometimes in your late campaign, if you don't really want to be using them, finding a sack city to just sack every single turn is a good way to just farm Death's Favor, if that is something that you want to do. Now, in terms of how their campaign plays out, it's pretty similar to the other Wood Elves. Typically speaking, you're not expanding rapidly early on in the game. It's mostly about trying to restore the forest. The sooner you restore the Witchwood, then the sooner you get Ariel. At turn 10, it opens up the Deep Roots, and you can either choose to stay here or move on to other areas. Other forests will open up over time, and you will eventually end up quite spread out. But typically speaking, these are the core areas that you either want to leave completely ruined, allied, or occupied by your territory. Now, your outposts are a little bit tricky to hold on to because they'll have terrible garrisons, but they're also super cheap to get, so it's just not really a big deal if you end up losing them. It's the main forests here that are really important, the ones that you need to hold on to. So, Overall, I think the Sisters of Twilight is a really fun campaign. Probably one of the best Wood Elf campaigns to play. I really personally enjoy it. I think the optimal difficulty for fun is probably around hard to very hard difficulty, because loads of armies in the campaign map will, typically speaking, not gun for your legendary lord. They'll just go for your outposts. So legendary difficulty, well, definitely manageable. I'd say the optimal difficulty is probably one where the AI doesn't field quite as many armies and is, typically speaking, super cowardly and just aiming for your outpost. But overall, really fun campaign, highly recommend it, and hopefully you enjoy it. Anyway, that's the end of this one here, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Sisters of Twilight, and let me know which legendary lord you'd like me to cover next. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.